Oops. All right. Damn it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yo absolutely favorite podcast. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Riffin with Griffin. Riffin with Griffin. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. You know how we do. I like doing it live, so I don't got to do a lot of work because a lot of times I'm by myself, but it don't matter. Welcome to the podcast. This week, what we talking about? We still, Will Smith got banned 10 years. The NBA playoffs are here. I'm big on that. And then I'm going to do one of my spoiler reviews, beginning and end of this movie I just saw last night called The Lie. But other than that, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Riffin with Griffin. Whoa, yeah, yeah, yeah. Just the girls. Yeah. All right, and we here, Riffin with Griffin, back again. Thank you for being here. But before we get started, let's pay some bills, y'all. CoinBase. Do you identify as crypto curious? If you thought about entering the world of cryptocurrency, but you felt overwhelmed, Coinbase makes it easy to learn and buy. For a limited time, new users can get $10 in free Bitcoin when you sign up today at Coinbase.com. Riffin Griffin. Coinbase.com. Riffin Griffin, y'all. Wait, how do I get rid of this? There we go. Boom. Okay, welcome to the show. Let's see what else is going on here. As always, thanks for being here. Make sure you subscribe. You know what I mean? Hit the subscribe, and also I'm on Twitch every day. Erik Griffin Gaming. Come check me out playing that duty. My Call of Duty. I love playing Call of Duty. So check me out on that, y'all. And as always too, make sure you, if you're so inclined, I got some videos almost ready to go for my Patreon. So if you want to be a Patreon person, hit me up on, the links in the bio there. Patreon.com/Erik Griffin. Be a Patreon member, guys. Help support me, and I'm doing more content, reviews, real world advice from a grown ass man, little videos of me and Rachel. Just, I'm out here trying to do the thing, the social media thing. 50-year-old old man on the internet trying to do his thing. So help support if you'd like. Or you could just be a member, or you could be a YouTube member too. You can also join to be a YouTube member. So if you're a YouTube member or Patreon, I put those videos up. So I have a couple videos up now that only people that are members, or you can go to the Patreon to see them. But anyways, thanks for being here. Oh, and let's also do some other business too, guys. I'm also going to be, don't forget to check me out. Ooh, look at that. I'm going to be at the Houston Improv this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Houston Improv. So Texas, come on out and see me this week. I'm going to be at the Houston Improv. So come check that out. Let's see. All right. So what happened this week? So I was on the Adam Carolla show, which came out actually today. We recorded yesterday. So the Adam Carolla show came out today. I had a blast with them. He's one of the OGs, right? OG original podcast people. So shout out to Adam Carolla and all the crew that were there. Very, very lovely people. And we had a fun time talking about stuff. We just talked about a bunch of stuff, and I appreciate Adam Carolla because I feel like I vibe with him because he's got a really rational approach, you know? And I don't think people like to do that. I think people like to jump to conclusions, and people like to fight and argue, and if you don't agree, you're wrong. And I think that him and I have a way of being like, well, you know, maybe there's another side to it, and then, you know, and I like living in that space. So that was fun. So shout out to the Adam Carolla Show. So please go check me out on that after you finish watching this, obviously. And then I also heard, big shout out to Howard Stern, who I've never met. I've never met the guy. I've been on the Howard Stern wrap-up show quite a few times when I was out in New York, which is also a big show, you know, and he played my parts of my stand-up routine about the Will Smith, Chris Rock situation. And he played that on the Howard Stern show and gave me some praise. And then one of the guys chimed in, oh, he's a friend of the show. He comes on the, you know, he's been on the wrap-up show. So, and, you know, I got some praise from Howard Stern. So that was kind of cool, man. So shout out to, you know, Howard Stern and the crew. And, you know, wow. You know what I mean? That one of the giants in the, what do you say, broadcasting podcast world. So that was really cool. So, yeah, man. I don't know. I'm feeling good today, right? Feeling good today. Glad to be here, and I love doing it live, so I appreciate you guys being here, you know, and super chat and all that kind of stuff. I want to give it also a shout out to, one of the fans, man, Chris Yu. I never can pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to try. But Chris Yu, he sent me some dope beats. So this guy, you know, he sends dope beats, and I've gotten a lot of great music from fans like Dopapod, who made my theme song. Shout out to them. They're a great funk band, and they made that song for me, you know, and so I'm still using it today. So shout out to them. But if you have a song, if you're a musician, an artist, and you want to send it in, so like when people send super chats, we're gonna play some of Chris Yu. I never pronounce his last name, so we just call him Chris Yu. You know, but here's one of his songs. It's kind of funky, you know what I mean? Uh-oh. What? No, he didn't. It's starting off fresh. Okay, I might need the singing mic so I can do this beat right. Erik Griffin. Be riffing with Griffin. Sometimes I get on the beat. Sometimes I'm on my feet. Sometimes you get a treat. Eric G from the streets. So send that super chat if you want to hear a rap. And if you listen in later on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, that's fly. Wherever you get your podcast, Erik Griffin, all up in that. All right, anyways. So shout out to him and anybody else that's got like a fresh beat. You got a fresh beat, you want to see me? I use them a lot on my gaming channel. Once again, that's Erik Griffin Gaming. Twitch, Erik Griffin Gaming. Because anytime I win a Warzone match, if I win a good match, then I play one of these beats I got from the fans, and then I do like a, you know, freestyle thing over it. I'm 50, y'all. It's a dad thing, right? I'm not even a dad yet. Wait till I become a dad. Shout out also to my beautiful fiance Rachel, who she just signed with Wilhelmina Models. You know what I mean? Still doing it. 33 years old, still out here walking this runway like a G. Looking delicious as usual. So let's go to her page. Let's go to Rachel's Instagram page. You know what I mean? So she's out there, you know. I mean, damn, y'all. I can't even believe this is who I'm look at this. You know what I mean? Look at her. Oh yeah. Be jealous, y'all. Be jealous. That was her walking in Fashion Week. I mean, look at this. Look how glamorous she looks on the runway, right? So shout out to my beautiful fiance, Rachel. You know, you got to do that, y'all. Because she fly. Anyways, you don't know what a super chat is? It's right there. Super chat is just like a tip. It's like right there on the thing, but whatever. And again, also shout out to all the Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to your podcast. Thanks for listening to me every week, making me a part of your life. Okay. So anyways, so here we are. What happened this week that I wanted to yap about? I don't want to keep going on about the Will Smith thing, but some new news is that the Oscars actually banned him for 10 years. My feelings on it, I don't think it's enough. I mean, 10 years for a thing that like probably only happens once every 10 years for most people anyway, right? It's not like you get nominated for an Oscar every single year. It's a rare feat that somebody's like that. That's a rarity, but he is the kind of guy that he's got the kind of cachet. If he could do like a, dramatic film every single year if he wanted to, next thing you know. So they banned him for 10 years. I don't think it's enough. It has nothing to do with necessarily him. I just think that a deterrent, I think a bigger deterrent should be like, it should have been longer, 25 years or maybe even banned for life. And the reason why I say that is because if someone like that, someone with that sort of cachet, someone with that sort of reputation could have a bad night and then flip out, you need to let everybody know it's not okay. Because the night of, they made it seem like it was okay. And in retrospect, they're looking back like, ooh, we did not handle that correctly. So moving forward, they need to let everybody else know, if you having a bad day, don't show up. Because if you do something stupid like he did, there's going to be serious consequences. I mean, the only other thing they could have done, too, is like taking his Oscar away. But I don't believe in that, because it's like when they took Reggie Bush's Heisman Trophy away. He's still Heisman winner to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, or even when they take it away, an award away for a good reason. Like, I don't know, for all you young people, you might not know who this is, but I don't know if y'all remember Milli Vanilli. Who's out there that remembers Milli Vanilli, And so they were this like big pop band. They were this big pop band in the what do you call it, in the 90s. I think they were in the 90s. I don't know if they were in the 90s or not, I don't remember if it was in the 90s. If y'all remember them, that's Milli Vanilli. I think one of them actually killed themselves because of, I don't know what it was, but, look, they might have. But 30 years ago, Milli Vanilli returned their Best New Artist Grammy. Should they get their award back now? That's one of the things that's coming out right now. But they had that song. You guys remember that song? Blame it on the rain. So that was like their big song. And then so they, it came out later that they weren't actually singing the songs. It came out, that was like late 80s, yeah. So it came out later that they actually were lip syncing and it was someone else singing. But they were huge, you know what I mean? Like back then there was no social media. Like I don't think you could get away with that now. I don't think it's possible to get away with something so blatant now because of like the access we have with everything, right? So they then it came out later. The people who the real singer or whoever was behind it, they probably didn't get money or credit, and they were like, wait a minute, why are these clowns getting all the credit and it's my voice or whatever happened? I don't remember the story. It was so long ago. But okay, let me relate this to what I'm talking about with the Oscars and Will Smith. So these guys won Best New Artist, okay? So then they took it away from them when they found out it was all fake. But my thing is like, you still gave it to them. So regardless, they were Best New Artist. So imagine you're like number 2. You're the number 2 person, and you were putting your heart and soul. It was PM Dawn at the time. I remember PM Dawn. I think PM Dawn. I think they got the Oscar, the Emmy. I don't know. Somebody look that up. You guys be my Jamie at home and look that up and then put it in the comments. So, so imagine you're like runner up. You're like number 2. You know what I mean? Like, do you want to be like given that Oscar knowing that you lost out to some people that like didn't even really deserve it? You know what I mean? Like, it's still tarnished no matter what. So anyway, my point is, even if they would have taken it away from him, we going to remember the slap. And actually the slap is going to help us remember even more that he won Best Actor, because nobody remembers those things, a year out, 2 years out. But so it's going to be synonymous with that. So we're always going to remember when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, and then right there, that memory is going to be, he also won the Oscar. So, you can't take it away from him. So I don't know. I think the punishment could have been harsher. So that's that. It is what it is. Something else that I didn't know about on the Adam Carolla show is this actor, Sam Elliott. You guys know the actor Sam Elliott? He said he made some comments about the movie Power of the Dog, which I didn't know. And he said some things that hurt people, and I feel terrible about that. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know if apparently the movie has there's some gay stuff in it, but who cares, right? I don't care about that. Like, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like China is always taking gay out of movies as if there's no gay people in China. It's like this idea that people that hate gay, it's like, get over it. You know what I mean? Gay is everywhere. You know what I mean? I don't know when we going to just accept that. So you kind of just go, okay, you know what I mean? Let's just get over it. But anyways, he made some comment, and I think it was, like he said, I told the WTF, because he was on Mark Maron's podcast, I thought Jane Champion was a brilliant director, and I want to apologize to the cast of Power of the Dog, brilliant actors. I don't know, he apologized, but I'm not sure if he said something so disparaging about I need to know, did he say something about the movie that was, homophobic or anti-gay? I don't know if he said that or not. I need to know, did he say that, or did he just not like the movie? And people are inferring that that's why he didn't like the movie. And I was talking about this on Carolla. I don't like that. I don't like that. It should be okay to not like something, regardless of who's in the movie or what it's about. It's okay not to like Hamilton. It's okay not to like Black Panther. It's okay. You could go to Black Panther and be like, I thought that was of all the Marvel movies, I thought that was one of the worst. It is okay to say that. You're not racist if you say that. If you're a nerd, if you establish yourself as who you are, because that's how I am. I could go to a movie and I just want the artistic integrity. I want to suspend my disbelief. I want to feel good about this or be moved. And I don't care about whatever the social agenda that's trying to be put out there by other people. What's the filmmaker trying to put out there? And if it doesn't go well, then whatever. Because when you watch a white movie, whatever that means, you know what I'm saying? You watch a movie that's predominantly all white actors, whatever, a genre piece, or even if it's the Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper movie, right? Where the stars are white and it's about white people doing pretty white shit. Maybe you don't like it. Nobody's coming out and being like, oh, you don't like it because it's white. That's not something that it's out there, but it's always that when it's the other thing. And I just think we should be careful about that. So Sam Elliott had to come out and apologize because he criticized the movie. And people, when some grizzly old cowboy guy with a big ass mustache says some stuff, people go, I wonder if it was because of, you know what I mean? So we just got to be careful with that kind of stuff, man. We really, really do. Okay, so let's get going in the podcast. But before we do that, man, let's go back to our great sponsor of the program, CoinBase. So I use CoinBase. And I remember when Bitcoin, Litecoin was 5-6 years ago. I was with Rick Glassman, by the way. I was with Rick Glassman in Chicago, and we were he was just passing through, and we were sitting in my hotel room. We ordered some food, and he was showing me crypto, and I was like, oh man, I just bought some Litecoin, and then it just blew up, and it was so fascinating. I didn't know anything about it, and Coinbase really helps with that, and so that was some fun thing, and it's extra. It's if look, Coinbase offers a trusted and easy platform to buy, sell, and spend cryptocurrency. They support the most popular digital currencies on the market and make them accessible to everyone. They offer portfolio management and protection, learning resources, and a mobile app so you can trade securely and monitor your crypto. Millions of people in over 100 countries trust Coinbase with their digital assets. For a limited time, new users can get $10 in free Bitcoin when you sign up today at coinbase.com/RiffinGriffin. Sign up at coinbase.com/RiffinGriffin for $10 in free Bitcoin. This offer is for limited time only, so be sure to sign up today. That's coinbase.com/RiffinGriffin. Okay, my people, let's get to this other thing I want to talk about. I'm stalling because I have to go over to my computer and do this. And here we go. NBA playoffs. NBA playoffs are here, y'all. So if you don't want to listen to sports, this is your time to just jet. But, all right. So I love the NBA, and I think this year's NBA playoffs are going to be absolutely outstanding. It's been quite a tumultuous year. It's just with all of the big stories, Kyrie Irving not wanting to get vaccinated, to other players not getting vaccinated, not being able to play in Canada, the injuries, the MVP race, the who's the favorite, who's gonna win, the matchups, the people, the disappointments, the ones that are shining. It's really a spectacular time for the NBA, and so tonight is the first play-in game. So, I don't even know how this works, but so they started this play-in tournament. So apparently, Phoenix is in the West, Phoenix is the number 1 seed. And so New Orleans plays San Antonio, and then the Lakers play Minnesota. All right. And so the winner, it's crazy how it works. So the winner of that goes here. The loser goes there. Oh, and the 8th seed stays the 8th seed. Okay, now I understand the play-in tournament. So now I'm understanding it, okay? So that's what I thought that I actually thought that the 7th and 8th seed had a chance to not make the playoffs. But now I realize if you're a 7th and 8th seed, you make the playoffs regardless. It's just about the seeding. Or is it? Actually, I don't even know, actually. I guess there is a chance that you're not going to make the playoffs. How does this work? You know what I mean? Anybody really know how this works? Somebody's got to explain it to me in the comments. This is some crazy. Oh yeah, Lakers play Minnesota. Sorry, Lakers play Minnesota. Clippers play Minnesota. San Antonio plays New Orleans. And so so the winner of the 9-10 goes here, and then the winner of the Clippers. Okay, I see. So the winner of Clippers Minnesota, they become the 7th seed. Got it. Winner of Clippers Minnesota becomes the 7th seed. The loser of that game has to play the winner of the 9 and 10 game, which is New Orleans versus. Okay, I get it now. So 9 and 10 play to move on. So if you win that game, you play the winner of the. You play the loser of the 7-8 game. Okay. I got it. Okay. So and I actually like the play-in. I don't know what you guys feel about it. You can tell me in the comments, but I actually like the play-in game. I like it because it keeps it interesting. It keeps a bunch of teams still viable for the playoffs. So I really like that. Okay. So that's pretty dope. All right. So you have that. So then in the Eastern Conference, all right, so you're going to have Atlanta's 9, Charlotte's 10. So the winner of that plays the loser of Brooklyn-Cleveland. Okay? Brooklyn-Cleveland. So, and then the winner will be the 7th seed, or if they, so all eyes are on the Nets right now to see how that debacle gets itself, if they can get themselves right. All right, so what's the big talk, man? So, in the West, you got Phoenix, who is now 64-18. They have the best record. They made it to the championship last year. And then there was all that thing last year where the Lakers, LeBron got hurt. And it was the whole idea that if LeBron didn't get hurt, or if the Lakers didn't have injuries, they probably would have beat Phoenix. So that was like the thought. So it kind of tarnished their ride to the championship. Well, they proved all that wrong this year because Phoenix has the best record in the league. They have the best chance to win the championship. They're the favorite to win the championship at 64-18. So shout out to Chris Paul, who got injured again, but Devin Booker stepped up, and the Phoenix Suns still have the best record. So I think that they have a team in place that even they can come through injuries. So look out for Phoenix. Would that be exciting? I don't know. Phoenix winning the championship? I don't know, but I like Chris Paul a lot. I've met him quite a few times, and I still go back to my Clipper days when he was with the Clippers, and I really enjoy that. So there's Phoenix, right? So then you got Dallas, right? Dallas at the 4 seed in that bracket. So 4 versus 5, Dallas versus Utah. I mean, Utah's been slipping. I just went to a Clipper game where it was Paul George's first game back, and they put it on Utah. So I think Utah's in a rough spot right now. I hope they get their stuff together. But Dallas, man, they looking good. Luka Doncic is now he's skinnier, he's slender, he's taking it more serious because he hasn't got a long run in the playoffs yet because he kind of tires out in the fourth quarter, but he's gotten himself in great shape. I mean, they're professional athletes. That's what they're supposed to do. So shout out to Dallas. Looks like that's going to be a good matchup. So, could Dallas beat Utah and then beat Phoenix? Whoo, that'll be something else, right? So shout out to them. And even these playing tournament people like New Orleans Pelicans, like good for them, right? New Orleans Pelicans, even without Zion, just what they've done, like the Lakers are ridiculous, man. Trading away all the people that they traded away. I think they should have kept all these people with LeBron and they might have still won a championship, but who knows? We'll get to the Lakers, all right? So then you got Golden State at the 3rd seed. They kind of fell off just a little bit in terms of like going for the best record because Steph Curry got hurt, and they're still trying to work, Thompson back in, Klay Thompson, and then Draymond Green got hurt, but they still managed to salvage their season, so now Golden State is the 3rd seed, so good for them, right? And then you got Denver with the Joker, who is one of the MVP candidates, but I don't know, man. I just think that they don't really have a chance to win the championship. I just don't. Not without their dude. What's his name? Who's a guy to play with the Joker, guys, in the chat? He hasn't played in like 2 years, and that dude is great. One of the top 10 players in the league. I just can't believe I can't remember his damn name. But they, I just don't think they really have a chance because they still got these injuries, and I think someone else got injured on their team too. So I don't know if Denver really has a chance. And then you have Memphis. So Memphis with what's the kid's name? What's the Memphis kid? That dude, Ja Morant. Whoo, that dude is good. He's in the top 5 MVP candidate, and there's people picking them as a dark horse to win the championship. They could win the West at the very least. Very good team. They've been playing great all year. He's been injured as of late, but I'm sure he'll be ready for the playoffs. They already knew their seeding, so they just said, let's keep him out. So Ja Morant is looking dope. And the Memphis Grizzlies. So if it's Memphis Grizzlies and Phoenix Suns in the East, in the West final, I will not be shocked, or Golden State. If it's Golden State Phoenix, that'll be a great matchup. Because I love to see Chris Paul and Steph Curry go at each other. I love that. Or even Ja Morant being the young new point guard versus Chris Paul, the old veteran savvy point guard, about to be 37 years old. So good job, West. So more about the West, like the Lakers, man. What a disappointment. Just what an utter disappointment if you're a Laker fan. I feel bad for LeBron James, and I don't feel bad for him. But at the same time, it's like LeBron James is like one of the greatest players of all time. You could argue, if you're a person that thinks LeBron James is the greatest player ever, I'm with you on your argument. I have nothing to say. I'm a Michael Jordan guy, and you could be a LeBron guy, and we could have a great fun at the Jamal Murray. That's the guy's name. Thank you very much, Jamal Murray. That's the Denver guy. So, if you want to argue LeBron James is the greatest player of all time, you have a solid argument. He went to 10 championships. He won 4. Being second place is not a slight. If you're telling me that he had 10 chances to be the champ and he finished second or first, that's pretty damn good. Plus all of his accolades and all of his statistical achievements, you have a solid argument. So it is what it is. But this is a disappointment. It is an utter failure and disappointment. You got Russell Westbrook, you got LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Carmelo Anthony, and a host of players that are supposed to support these guys, and they did not get the job done. And then I think Russell Westbrook took too much blame. If you look at his statistics, it's pretty much on par with his whole career. His statistics, his shooting percentage, his turnovers. I think he has less turnovers this year than he had last couple years. And that's the thing people were getting on him about. Like, I think he took too much of the blame. I think LeBron James, I think he should come out publicly and be like, yo, this was on me. We didn't do it, but we coming back next year. We're going to get this right. Because they're strapped with the salary cap issues. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they're going to do it. But I feel like I have enough faith in LeBron James that I would not be surprised that LeBron, 37, 38 years old, by the way, second in scoring at 37 years old. Just a physical freak, man. Crazy. So if they come back next year and they practice in the offseason and maybe they decide to go, you look at each other and go, yo, we old and they doubting us, let's do it. But if right now, that was the most disappointing failure of an NBA season in the history of the NBA because their expectations was championship and they let us all down. Ugh. So that's my Lakers thing. Now, lastly, we talk about my Clippers. Clippers, 8th seed. Clippers got to beat Minnesota. I mean, we got to. This is ridiculous. But even if they don't, they got to win the winner of. They still can have a chance. They got to beat San Antonio or Pelicans. My Clippers, once again, another disappointing. Like, LA is full of like people that can't stay healthy. Like, when we gonna realize with Anthony Davis that dude ain't never gonna be 100%? I just unless he goes in the offseason with LeBron James and goes to that magic doctor and wherever they go, whatever they have to do to make their bodies work like that, he needs to go do what LeBron James does. He could be like, man, what is he, 26, 27? And here's this old man, 10 years older than him, out here giving it to the league at that age. He's taking care of himself. Anthony Davis, get on board with LeBron James' program so you can come back and play over 70 games and give this team a chance to win. Same thing I feel about with my Clippers, man. Paul George in and out of the lineup now 3 years in a row. Kawhi Leonard, don't even get me started. Kawhi Leonard and his degenerative knee disorder, whatever that is, that's what they called it, degenerative. That means it ain't going to get better. Can we get one solid year out of this dude? Like Toronto maximized the Kawhi Leonard experience and won a championship. Can the Clippers do the same thing? Last year was the year, man. I felt like with Kawhi Leonard, they would have beat Phoenix last year, right? But who knows? Maybe not, because Phoenix is pretty good. But anyway, my point is, what's going on, man? Come on, dude. Come on, Kawhi. I need you to get it together, man. I feel for the dude because it's like, he was like flirting with being an all-time great, like top 5. He had potential to be that kind of player. You know what I mean? Winning championships in 2 different cities and being the man on the team, but he just always hurt, man. He's on the all-hurt team. He's Mount Rushmore of all-hurt players. It's like him, Grant Hill, and Anthony Davis. They probably like that. That's the all-hurt starting lineup. And whoever else who else can you guys think of in the chat? Put in the comments. Who's some like an all-time great player that never maximized their potential because they were always hurt? Whew. All right, so that's the Western Conference, y'all. That's the Western Conference. So let's now go over to the East. Okay. So over in the East, you got in the play-in tournament, it's the Brooklyn Nets at the 7th seed playing Cleveland, the 8th seed. That's going on tonight. And then you got Atlanta, the 9th seed, playing Charlotte, the 10th seed. Ooh, that's going to be a good game. That's a good game right there. That's two, say what you want about, what's his name, Lamar Ball. Say what you want about him, LeVar, whatever his name is, LeVar. The man, he got 2 NBA players that are really good. And one of them's like an all-star level, And still, Lonzo Ball is balling, man. He's like a point guard's point guard. So, and then he got this kid, his other kid in Charlotte. So that's going to be, him versus, what's his name? The Atlanta point guard. I'm so old. I'm forgetting people's names all the time. I'm so sorry. Trey Young. So that's going to be a good matchup. And then you got Brooklyn versus Cleveland. I think Brooklyn should win that game and just go on to play Boston in the first round, which is going to be like wow. Imagine you're Boston. You got the second seed. You've turned your franchise around with all the stuff that's been happening in the last few years, and you get to play. You get the Nets in the first round. Whoo! But there's a lot of things there because Kyrie left Boston. It's a lot of subtext there. It's a lot of like, Jamal. What's his name? What's his name? Brown and Tatum. Brown and Tatum always get overlooked as superstars, so they got a lot to prove. I really want to see that matchup: Nets versus Boston. And then so you got Miami as the number 1 seed. Crazy. They're another team that has proven themselves to be like, hey, we're pretty good. They were in the championship in the bubble, and it was kind of like we were all giving them that like, well, it's the bubble, and they did it. They got the number 1 seed, so they being overlooked. So that kind of sucks for them. But imagine if, like, let's say the Nets lose tonight. And then they play, and then they make it to the 8th seed, and then they have to play Miami has to face the Nets in round 1. So the Nets, man, that's the whole thing, man. That shit's crazy. So you got that. All right, so then the other teams, you got Philly, who is going through some things right now. You got Joel Embiid. I think he should win the MVP just of what he's done to keep that team afloat all year. James Harden, like, is he going to show up, man? I've been talking about this now for 2 years. Is he going to show up? Like, KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, they all got some stuff. Kyrie's on that all injured team too, man. He should have 3 championships. The first one with Cleveland when they lost to the Golden State, Cleveland would have waxed them with Kyrie Irving. He should have won last year if he didn't get hurt because when they were playing Milwaukee, they were up 40 on them, and then Kyrie got hurt. That would have been his 3rd championship. And who knows, maybe even Cleveland would have went and won more because they had that momentum. So anyways, Kyrie got something to prove, right? And then you got Kevin Durant, who we all think was weak when he went to Golden State. And now last year, he got really injured. He's trying to come back from this. He seems to be sustaining his health right now. I hope he maintains it because he's balling right now. I mean, he's a talent. You know what I mean? Regardless of what I say about him, he's still a talent, right? So, but can he carry a team by himself, basically be the man and win a championship? He's got that to prove. And then James Harden, who they traded the world for to get him over to, Philly. You got to deal. Can he finally show up in the playoffs, man? Hey, show up in the playoffs, James Harden. And then you got Doc Rivers, who is the most overrated coach in history. The most overrated coach in the history of NBA. Sorry, and I love you, Doc, but if it wasn't for Kevin Garnett being undeniable, you would have been fired. Like, your career would have been over. He got that 1 championship off the backs of Kevin Durant, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen doing the damn thing. But this guy, he's lost 3-1 leads like 4 times in the playoffs. So he got something to prove as a coach. So I love the Eastern Conference. I just love it. I want to see who comes out of there. Is it going to be Philly? Here's the people that really got a legit shot. They all got a legit shot. Philly, Brooklyn, freaking Milwaukee, who at the 3rd seed, they're balling. They're showing everybody too that, no, it wasn't a fluke that we lost last year. Yeah, they were up 40, but we're still good. We won a championship. So they trying to come back and be back-to-back champs. Again, you got Boston's story of them like revitalizing the franchise. The Eastern Conference is the best right now, okay? Any one of these teams can win. Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, outside shot Miami, even though they're the number 1 seed. And even Toronto got a chance to sneak in there. Like, Toronto could actually beat Philly in the first round. And thank you, Voyage Eats, for the super chat, guys. And that's a super chat. The guy sent a $19 super chat, y'all. $19 super chat. So right in the middle of the show. Oh, we going into the beats. Thank you for the super chat. It wasn't white. Thank you, Mac. $19.99. Erik Griffin, fine as wine. All right, there we go. So tell me in the I'd love to see in the chat, the people that are watching live, who you got in the championship. Who do you think's coming out of the East? Who do you think's coming out of the West? And who do you think's going to win? Let's get those in the comments. And then during my Patreon episode, when I'm really going through the NBA again, I'm gonna have I'm gonna read those comments and we'll see, how we doing with that. So NBA's looking good, man. I mean, the NBA's looking good, man. As I look at this again, wait, let me actually show you guys. As I look at this again, man, I mean, that's a good looking bracket, dude. Good looking bracket on the East. I mean, the West is kind of like iffy. We're not sure who's going to do what, Memphis, Golden State, is Golden State really good? Remember, they have something to prove because it was like the last time they won, it was because of KD. Now he's gone. Like, if Golden State should come out of the West and actually win the championship, to me, that makes Kevin Durant look even worse to me. It just makes him look like, yo, dude, they did it without you, and they did it without you again. So they got something to prove in terms of that. So, whoo. And then Jason Kidd, shout out to him over at for the coach in Dallas. Got Dallas relevant again, even with all his baggage and stuff that's going on with that. So it's looking good, y'all. It's looking good. All right. All right, y'all. That's the NBA talk. Let me get this back up. That is the NBA talk. But now I want to talk. Now, this is something I like to do. I like to do this on the podcast. This is my movie spoiler. Okay. So this is a movie spoiler. So if you actually want to watch this movie, you should thank you for watching Riffin with Griffin, and you can leave now. But if you'd like to hear me recap a movie, that's what I'm about to do right now. And the movie's called The Lie. It's called The Lie. It was 2018. It's rated R. The movie stars Peter Sarsgaard. I'm terrible with names. But if you see him, you know who he is. He's one of those guys that you don't know his name, but you see him everywhere. Same thing with this other star. Let's just look at him because I'm not going to try to get the names right. This guy, he was in Batman. You know what I mean? That's that guy. Like him when you see him. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, that guy. And same with this chick, man. She's in a lot of great shows. Wait, no, that's not it. That's not her. How can we do? Oh, no, I picked the wrong person. This lady right here. Her name is, how do you say her name? Marili? I don't even know. But she's in a lot of great stuff too, man. She's been in a lot of great shows, like really fantastic. She's a really great actress. Fantastic actress. And then it's also starring that young girl right there. What's her name? Joey King. Yeah, she's dope. Beautiful young girl. She's going to be one of those. She's going to be a starlet. She's just really great. Okay, so let's talk about The Lie, man. The Lie. Oh, I should have made this the background, but I had other stuff going on, so I couldn't get it done. But anyways, so The Lie. Again, spoiler alert. So if you don't want to hear, okay. So I was just up. I couldn't sleep. I threw it on, and I couldn't stop watching it. I'm not gonna say it's not necessarily a great movie. Like the IMDb rating, it got 5.8 out of 10. I'm not even sure what the Rotten Tomatoes score is of this movie, but it was very interesting. It's very interesting, man. So The Lie opens up with this young girl and her mom, and they established that the mom's seeing someone new, and this isn't her dad, and the mom's seeing someone new, and she has a contentious relationship with her daughter. And then they go meet the dad. Now the girl's about to go to some ballet camp for like a week. And then she's fighting with the mom. I don't want to go. So you're already kind of establishing that they're not close. But she's a teenager. It's teenage shit, right? So they go pick up the dad, who the little girl obviously loves. It's one of those situations where mom's the villain and dad's the great guy, and you can and the guy, he's seeing someone else too. And the mom's meeting this girl for the first time. And so the little girl gets in the car with the dad, and she's like, oh, mom didn't know. You told me not to tell her, that kind of thing. And so the dad's going to take her to the camp. So they're driving in this like snowy road, and they're passing like a bus stop, but it's one of these like country road bus stops. And the little girl sees her friend, and she's like, oh, Dad, pull over. It's Brittany, So they pick Brittany up, and Brittany's a little, they playing her like she's a little tramp, even though she's a little young 16-year-old. So she's all flirting with the dad. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, Mr. Such and such, is that, and you're just kind of like, what's going on? All right. So then the girls are like, they got to go to the bathroom, but they on a country road because he's taking them to some camp. So they on this country road, right? So then they pull over on the country road, and the little girls jump out of the car and they run into the woods because they're going to go pee. Time is going by, and the dad's like, where the hell are these girls at? So he goes looking for them. He says, Kayla. The girl's name's Kayla. He's like, where are you? So then he gets to like a bridge over some water. It's like a bridge over like a little stream, but it's not like a deep, but it's like, you could tell that it's like the water's moving, okay? He's like, where's your friend? Where's your friend? And the little girl has got like she's just sitting there like in shock on the bridge. She's like sitting on the bridge in shock, like on the railing. And the dad's like, what are you doing? And he's like, where's your friend? And then the girl starts crying, and she's like, I pushed her. We were fighting. So the little girl tells her father that she pushed her friend into the lake, okay? Into this like freezing cold, whatever. The dad freaks out. He runs down to the thing. He's like, why did you do this? And he's looking for the girl. He's like, Brittany! And he's like, looking for her. And then he can't find her. Now he's in a panic. He grabs his little girl. They get in the car and they bounce. You hear what I said? They don't look for the little girl anymore. They don't call the cops. They bounce. The dad is like, it was an accident. And then the girl freaks out and she's like, it wasn't an accident. I did it on purpose. I pushed her on purpose because she was a bitch. So you're like, what? The little girl, 15, 16, murders her friend, pushes her into the water, and takes off. So now the dad's in a panic. So he's like, the little girl, they find the girl's purse. It's a little pink purse, and the phone is in it. So the little girl grabs the purse. Dad don't know. All right. Now they head back to the city because they got to go tell mom. So they pull up to mom's job. She's a lawyer. And the mom's like mad at him because he's like, what are you doing? Why didn't you take her? You always do this. It's that kind of like, so this kind of shit happens all the time where the dad don't take care of business. So he's trying to talk to her and she won't listen, right? So then they take her home, and the girl's freaking out a little bit. So then they get home, and the parents are kind of going at it, and then the little girl disappears from the room, and she jumps into a bath. And the mom's in there like, what are you doing? And the dad's like trying to tell the mom, like, yo, we got to talk, bitch. Like, you need to listen to me. And so she's like, he comes into the bathroom, and he's like, let me just take her home with me. I'm going to take it. And the mom's like, get out of here. So then like, they do this thing where the door closes, you see the dad down the hallway with nervousness, and then the mom comes out like flabbergasted. And the little girl told the mom. So now they out here like, what do we do? And it made me think, like, what would you do? Your little girl, your teenage girl, basically accidentally, or maybe not accidentally, murders somebody. Okay. So now the parents are like, they in a quandary because they like, what are we going to do? She's a lawyer, and the dad's like, what are you going to, like, and the mom, you can tell the mom is kind of sick of her daughter. Like, in the sense of like, but that's just natural. It's like your parent, when you have a teenager, they're getting on your nerves. Teenagers are assholes, and she's just over it. But now it's like, boom, is she a good person or not? So now the mom's like, what are we supposed to do? And the dad's like, we got to cover this up. Basically, that's the thing. We can't just, nobody knows we were there. That's what he says. No one knows we were there. Let's not worry about it. Brittany's dad shows up. Brittany's dad's like, he calls first, and he's like, hey, the girls are doing some nonsense again. They didn't show up to the camp, okay? So he's thinking that the girls are together, and they off doing some teenage stuff, and the girl didn't show up to the camp. So these parents are like, well, no, actually, Kayla's with us. She was sick. So now the dad's like, what? And now the dad's thinking, oh man, because he didn't drive her to the camp. The dad was punishing his daughter and made her go take the bus. By the way, Brittany, the other girl, she had like a bruise on her chin. That's important for the story later. So now the dad is all like, he's starting to be like, well, okay, maybe she's punishing me. And the girl, Brittany, has run away before. So second time running away. She's already run away 2 other times. Okay. So now the parents are like, well, no, Kayla's with us. Now the dad is like, well, I need to talk to her. Does she know where Brittany is? And these parents are like, yo, no, she's at the doctor. You know, they don't want the dad to talk to the daughter. Okay. They don't want the dad to talk. Now, the other girl is sort of freaking out now. She's like, am I a horrible person? And she's acting all like batshit. And she also has like an inhaler. Okay, so she has to take an inhaler. And you also find out that she's been cutting. So she's the kind of girl that she's not popular. She's like, whatever. You know, she got some issues. Okay, so they say to the dad, we took her to the doctor. She went with the doctor with the dad. So now the dad's trying to be like, yo, he can't find his daughter. So he keeps calling. He's calling like, yo, I need to talk to your daughter because I can't find my daughter, and they're best friends and they have to know what's going on. All right. So then dad shows up again, and the dad's like, hey, how come you're not returning my calls? And the mom was like, yeah, well, you know, she's at the doctor. But then the dad comes out the house. Well, hey, what's going on? And then the other dad's like, wait, where's your daughter? You left her at the doctor's office by herself? And then, you know, they're kind of like, oh, yeah, we're going to go get her. They trip it. And then the stupid little girl comes out the house too. And he's like, what's going on? Now the dad is like, why are you lying? You told me that your daughter was at the hospital. They're like, what's going on? I'm going to the cops. So now they like messed up. You know, I don't know. I'm not advocating corporal punishment with your kids, but, you know, stay in the house, bitch. You know what I mean? You don't murder somebody and you out here in these streets. All right. So now they in a panic, okay? So now they trying to decide, oh, by the way, the other dad, he's very aggressive, you know? Like aggressive, like, you know, he is trying to like get to the girl and they're like, get off. And he punches the dad. So now they're like, get the hell out of here. So now he's aggressive. So now they in the house and they having a discussion about maybe we should frame the dad. That's basically the discussion of like, well, maybe, you know, he probably hits her. She had a bruise. And, you know, so now the mom is like, what? So now my daughter killed a girl and now we going to frame the dad? But she doesn't. She used to work in the prosecutor's office. And so she goes and talks to a prosecutor friend of hers, the cops. She used to work in that. So she was like the prosecutor. So she goes and talks to one of the investigative cops. It kind of reveals like, hey, this dad is acting strange. All right. So now these 2 cops go talk to the dad. They going to talk to the dad now. And they like, and so it's very contentious at first, you know, but then the cops come back to the house and they like, yeah. So what happened? Cause now they've talked to neighbors and they get a different sense of who this guy is. So then they go, and by the way, yeah, we tracked Brittany's phone and it's actually in downtown. Doesn't your husband live in downtown? So now the mom was like, what? Because the little girl took the purse from the water. So now the husband, the dad, he finally goes back to his house. He's in a band and his band is there waiting for him. And he's dating one of the girls in the band. And she's all like, where you been? We're supposed to be practicing. This is important. And then she's like this, whose purse is this? I found this in your car. She's basically being like, what, bitch? Who else are you having sex? You know, and now the dad's like, why is that purse here? So he gets the purse from her. So now he looks in the purse and then the phone. Okay. So now they in a panic. So now they go back. So now the police investigators are now they're like, the dad tells them. So they go to this country road bus stop and now they like, what the hell is going on? Okay. So now they go back to the house and they interview the parents. Now they're interviewing these 2 parents and they're like, hey, were you guys on a bridge, you know? And the dad already lied. He said, no, I picked her up. She wasn't feeling well. We went right downtown, you know? And they said, are you sure? And they're giving them the opportunity. And then the cop pulls out an inhaler. Because we found your daughter's inhaler at the bridge. Now the gig's up, okay? So now the mom is like, get out. She kicks the cops out. So now they in a panic. So now the parents are like, what the hell do we do? So they make another dumb choice. They go in the middle of the night to the dad's, the father of the dead girl. They go, and then they take the phone and purse, and the dad's in the backyard, and he tries to dig a hole, and he's going to put the purse and the phone in this hole by the dad's house to try to maybe the dad hit it type of thing, right? It's ridiculous. But then the dad comes out, and he confronts them both. And he's like, I know you're done. Because the dad actually got the other little girl alone walking on the street. And she starts to like, she cracks because she ain't shit. You know, she's all like, I didn't mean for this to go this far. And but he's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So he freaks out. She has a panic attack with her inhaler. So they find her on the ground in the house. And they're like, what the hell's wrong with you? So now everybody's in a panic. And that's why they go to put the thing. So the dad comes out. And he gets into a squabble with the other father. And the father beats him up and he's like almost drowns him, you know? And then they take off. And then the dad's running after them and he kind of crosses over and he's in the street. And the dad's like, you know, he's like, stop. And the mom runs this dude over. So they crash into him. He's in the middle of the street. And they let him die. So they murder the father. So now they back at the house and they cleaning the car because there's blood on the thing. And they trying to cover up this crime. And maybe they think they'll make it so the dad disappears and they don't have to worry about it. And then in walks Brittany, the dead girl. She ain't dead, y'all. She's like, hi, I'm so sorry. It's Kayla here. I made her do it. You know, it was my fault. I just wanted to go spend time with my boyfriend. They lied the whole time. The little girl's alive. And the parents are looking at her like, what? You're alive? And then the mom says to her, no, you can't talk to her. You should go home. And then the two parents walk into the room and they go, like, looking at her like, what the fuck? And the little girl, she breaks down. She's like, it wasn't my fault. Brittany made me do it. And I was going to tell you guys, but then you guys were laughing and because they were divorced. And so the two parents, they were going, because of this trauma, they were going to each other for support and help. And that's what they did. So the little girl was like, I wanted to keep it going because of what it was doing for us. We were happy again. And then she was like, don't leave me, you know, and then the parents are in shock. They hug the daughter. And the movie ends with the three of them hugging and you hear police sirens. Wow. What? Dude, I was just thinking to myself, they murdered the father because their little girl was a little liar. It's like, what? So, anyway, y'all, that's the freaking lie. You know, I usually have my usual outro song, but you know what? Today, let's outro with one of Chris Yu's songs. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate you watching Riffin with Griffin. That's today's episode. Shout out to Chris Yu. I'm gonna put his Instagram in the chat. Coming up with these great beats. Make sure you subscribe, share, follow. hit me up on Twitch, Erik Griffin Gaming.
Worried about me. Why ain't nobody came to help me?
You know what I mean? So make sure you guys come on out every week here on Riffin with Griffin. Oh yeah, Riffin Griffin. Always riffing. Telling everybody about it. Shout it, out it. Scat about it. Scooty bam. Scooty boom, 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 bam. This is how we do it. Erik Griffin is a champ. Ooh. Send no super chat. Even though this whack be whack. This rap be whack. I don't give a crap. Stack, stickily lack. Get it pap. Skid boom, 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 pap. Thanks, y'all. See you next week.